Just wanted to do a quick shop update. Hadn't done one in a while. Finished the loft out. Managed to build my gym. Been working on enclosing everything. Done a lot more wiring. We now have these lights up here are on a light switch right here. You can see my gym. We have these all on a light switch right there. That's the outside one. I still need to finish this area. We have some built-in shelving. Got my fridge in here. Some more built-in shelving. This is a 2x4 studded wall, but these will be 1x6 shelves, just so it comes out a little bit more. You can put more than just your keys on it. We got a TV in the gym. You can see we still have the TV in the corner there. I usually just have YouTube or Motor Trend up on it. I originally was just using this attic ladder access. My wife did not enjoy that. So a couple weeks back, we built a set of stairs. Had to put some caution tape up there. It's kind of low. You have to crouch as you come up, but it's much easier to carry stuff up, especially when my wife likes as much Christmas stuff as she does. Still have a good pile of wood to put up. For now, I'm just going to carry it to, this is a little bit over 8 feet. And I'll see if I have enough left over to start working on this wall right here. Been working on some of the workbenches with the cost of plywood. I've just have the OSB sheeting on right now, but I will eventually put plywood on top of this. That way I have a removable top. This one's actually pretty nice though. It's notched for that column in the corner. Don't know if this is where all this stuff's going to go. Like I originally said, I would like to be able to have this stuff store underneath and either flip up, or if I have to grab it, it's not the end of the world. Some parts for the Bronco. Have a painless wiring harness. It's just a universal one, GM color code, so I'm not worried about being factory correct. Have a headlight harness with the relays in it to help with any issues that you have on some of these older trucks. Just going to go with a standard universal hazard light switch. Some of these are ignition switch. Headlight switch is one of these. This is a high beam switch. I believe this is the turn signal switch. And the little pull rod for the headlights. To kind of turn this into my wiring cart. Got all my butt connectors and tools in there. Some dropping stuff. Got all my wire in there. It used to be on my little toolbox, but I've just kind of outgrown it. This is my little temporary workbench still trying to figure out where to put some of these pictures up. Currently, I'm thinking I'm going to have one more workbench right here. It might wrap around. Yet again, everything's on casters, so trying to figure out how I want to do that. But I kind of want to have a workbench here to put that toolbox on. If you can see it. Yeah, that toolbox on, just so it's out of the way. Nothing's really even in it right now, but it'd be nice to have it in a usable space. This will get put away for just, events, or, if we're gonna have lunch out here or something. But so I have some wall space here, not a ton, but some wall space here. Have another one of those built-in shelves, just something small. I figured I can put pictures or, a small project I'm working on, maybe some Hot Wheels or Lego stuff out here. Haven't really decided yet. I've got that picture hung up, got that hung up, just little things we had found at Hobby Lobby. Kind of make it feel more comfortable, I guess. Still trying to put away Christmas stuff in February. I worked on building a welding cart, wasn't super happy with it. Ended up buying that one from Harbor Freight. Built this little fab workbench. I built it using some 4x6 legs because I wanted to be able to put this vise on here and hammer on stuff without worried about it shaking apart. So I made sure to get something that was going to be able to transfer the weight and the force down to the ground better. So you can see I've been putting this wall together. This wall is made out of what they call factory seconds lumber. It's about a 1/3 to 1/4 of the price of regular lumber of the same shiplap type, not necessarily tongue and groove, but it's made it a lot more affordable. But yeah, you have some weird pieces every now and then. You got ones like that are super thick. I have one over there that's like half the thickness it's supposed to be. Not perfect, but it is what it is. I've wired in a 20 amp 240 volt plug, just in case I need it. I thought I was going to need it for an air compressor and ended up not being the right plug. Wired in my 50 amp welder plug finally. So this is where I'm thinking the welder's probably going to be set up. Thinking that this is probably going to be like my fabrication area. Figure it's a short run to the electrical panel. Got my welding table right there. It's expandable. I can put a bigger one here. It's right in front of the lift, so if I need to build an extension cord, I don't need to have a super long one. Built this workbench, or not workbench, shelf, just to house some parts. It gets all the Bronco parts up off the floor. Got the grill, the dash, the wiring harness, my intake and carb, plenty of stuff over there. Some of the jack stands my wife got me for Christmas and some of my other family members. Have some of this stuff stored over here. Not 100% certain where some of it's gonna go yet. I've just recently ordered everything to do the rebuild on the steering column. Just waiting for it to come in now. I didn't put it on a rush because I still have some more work to do. Still need to replace this panel. Section of it's good. Inside it's bad. So I'm gonna try to cut this out a little bit so that I can trim out the bad metal, slip the new one in here, and partially weld it to this one since this is all solid metal, if that makes sense. As I said, I got the engine in. Been messing with that a little bit. Got this panel replaced. Did similar to the same thing I did over there. I cut out the bad metal, notched this so that it would slip over top to where it needs to be, and then just welded it to that other one to double it up. There was a space. It really isn't going to affect it too much. I mean, there's not much of an overlap there. Let's see if I can get this thing to open right. As you can see, it's all welded in here. I have some seam sealer to fill some of the voids. And then over there, you can see how bad that one is. So I'll probably cut it out to somewhere in this line, and that way about that point is where the outside starts, so I can slip it right behind it and then weld through to this piece and then weld to this. That way it strengthens up this piece a lot more. I don't have to worry about cutting out every single spot weld when there's a bunch of good metal there. Gotten my patch panel started here. I still need to widen it out here a little bit, widen it out there a little bit. It's coming along. This section right here will end up being a permanent replacement. I'm also going to add in some square tubing right here to reinforce where I had to cut the hat channel. This section right here is going to be riv nuts holding it in. That way it's removable, so that when I go to pull the body off, if I ever need to again, do service to the transmission or whatnot, I can just pull it straight off, because you can't get those shifters off with the body on. It's just too tight. It's like you need a 3-inch body lift or something to get to them, really. I already have a 1-inch, don't really have an interest in doing more. Got my shifter mounted. There's a little plate underneath of here to spread the load a little bit and clamp it to here. It feels like it's shifting fine. It takes some getting used to. It's really hard to do left-handed and away from you, but it's not bad. It really moves a lot more freely than I thought it would, being a homemade setup, but it's what came with this. Ready to clean out these floors, get them painted and sealed up, but figured there wasn't a reason to do it until I was ready to do it all at once. So, planning to pull the heater box out. I think the heater core's fine. I'm not 100% certain. But I just want to pull the insulation out. I'll probably order some Dynamat or the Amazon Prime heat shield that I put in my Suburban. Put it up there. As you can see, the interior is not bad. We never really wanted to make this a perfect truck because I want it to do what my buddy wanted, which was to wheel it. I want to take it off-roading. You know, this is going to be our rig. Finally got my wheels and tires in. I don't know if I can show those. 35 1250 17s, Method 706s, which are 17-inch by 9.5. It was a pain to seat the front bead. I actually had to take it to a friend who could run his compressor a little bit higher up than the place I was trying to put them on at could. And he said that he had to take one of them up to 65 and a couple other ones, I believe, a little bit higher than that. But we got them on. I think they look great on this thing. The color is kind of off because it's red. You can kind of see with the amount of backspacing they have, they don't really poke out much, which is really what I wanted. I was kind of worried. Front axle a little off center. We're still using these somewhat redneck spacers for the springs. Not a huge fan of them, but hey, I'm working with what I got at the moment. I'll probably honestly end up ordering some new ones of those just because those ones, you know, at the very least, if I'm going to run that, I might as well run some new ones. I can't afford the lift kit for it right now, so I might as well make it match, get it close to where it needs to be. That way, when I, you know, it's where I need it to be. Had the fender on there, test fitting it. Definitely gonna need to trim it. Already kind of knew that, but it is what it is. Like I said, you can see, I mean, it's in there. I think it looks really good, honestly. Not much else going on with that. In December, we had a storm that knocked out the shelter that was covering the El Camino, so we finally got that in here. I just didn't want to risk it getting messed up or sitting in the sun any more than it needed to, or in the rain, because there is some bare metal on it. So we did this just to get it in. There's that air compressor my stepfather gave me. It's older, been fighting with it. It doesn't seem to want to run. Replace the capacitor, replace the cord on it. Can run for 30 seconds. Kind of sounds like it's like half speed and then shuts off. Not 100% certain. My wife got me this 20-ton press for Christmas, so I can finally press bearings on as I need to and things like that, which I was looking forward to. Not super necessary just now, but I know it's going to be necessary. Would love to get a little finger brake in there, but I may end up getting the Harbor Freight brake to mount on that table. That way I have something, and it'll be better than nothing. It's not amazing, but it ought to work for the amount of metal work I'm doing. And until I'm really doing anything crazy. This is my old workbench. I just changed out the casters on it. That's where I've been doing all my wood cutting. Take a walk up these stairs. So I had to put some caution tape on there because I got to duck a little bit. That's where I store all my extra lumber. I'll probably end up storing some of the longer pieces of metal. You can see a little bit of everything from up here. It's definitely a big difference compared to 4 months ago when all that was here was a field. Hard to believe we've gotten this amount of work done. And I'm looking forward to where this year takes us. I'm hoping this is going to be ready by November. Ideally, it'd be ready sooner, but there's a few more parts I haven't picked up yet, and they're a little bit more expensive than I'd like. Still got to get headers. Love to find a used suspension setup for it, but haven't had any luck yet. I need to get a master cylinder for it. I'm gonna run, as much as it pains me, I'm gonna run a manual brakes and manual steering for the first time I take it out. Not due to wanting to do that, but because it's cost effective. I have a manual steering box. I can get a manual steering brake master cylinder. I don't got to get a power steering pump or anything like that. It's very simple. Is it going to suck? Probably. We'll get through it. I mean, I think the brake booster setup's like another $350, $400, and the master cylinder, not the master cylinder, the power steering setup is $1,000 or $1,500 for everything. So fortunately, that's not really in the budget when I got to consider I still need exhaust, I still need drive shafts. Pretty sure I'm gonna have to get an adjustable track bar. There's still stuff to do. I may try to throw the track bar off the Dana 30 on it. I don't know if that works. I haven't looked into it enough yet. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I said it's coming along slowly but surely. There's the spare. You can get a better idea of it. I love how these things looked. Really excited to have them and really excited to get to use them and, you know, actually take it out and see how these do. I mean, they're not the best shape, but they're better than nothing. They're better than those tires that were on it. I said one of the next projects is going to be rebuilding the steering column. That ought to be fun. Look at this. I actually haven't looked at it yet. So, as I said, it's coming along. Excited to see where this goes. Excited to get it out on the road for the first time. And I hope everyone's wanting to follow along still. Haven't done much on the big Bronco or the Suburban in a while. Been kind of working in here. Been trying to get our driveway straight. It's been an adventure the past 4 or 5 months, and I know I say it in most videos, but I can't appreciate my wife enough. She lets me do all this BS and put us in a lot of debt over a hobby, but it's what I love to do. You know, I'm trying to get better every day at what I'm doing out here. I'm not trying to make a business out of it, not trying to make this my job, just trying to enjoy life, you know, trying to enjoy what this is. You know, help people when I can, and, you know, show the progress, and, you know, that you might, you know, there's stuff you can do to try to do to get perfect, and there's stuff that, you know, sometimes you want to, as I say, roadkill it, and, you know, don't get it right, just get it running, get it on the road, get it, you know, be able to enjoy it. There's no use letting stuff sit around and waiting to be perfect when you'll never get to enjoy it that way. So I'm gonna try to be more updates and you know, more frequent with the updates. I unfortunately can't promise that. I have a busy life, busy schedule, but yeah, hoping everyone's doing all right and has a great start to their year. And like I said, you know, keep following me, and I'll try to keep posting some updates. Later.